Hey gang, I thought I'd talk to you guys today in this video about Sussex Strongest Man, which competition that I did on Sunday. It's currently Tuesday, although you guys probably see this on Wednesday, tomorrow. It went very well. Spoiler to the two people that are watching this, me and me. I won it. I came first. I won it by 11 points. Ended up being a very comfortable day. Yeah, so here are the events. This is the layout. This is what happened, and let's do it. So first event was actually first of all let's talk about getting there, etc. So I went up with my friend and coach Ben Glasscock, Big Bad Ben. He was very nice, and he came up with me. It was about 35 minutes away. It's very nice to take time out of his day to come support and help me out. It wasn't just me, it was myself and a guy called Frankie who was competing in the novice category. I was in the inters, he was in the novice. There was also an opens category as well, and then obviously women's novice and women's opens. So yeah, we went up, we were blasting Slaughter to Prevail on the way there. It was very good fun, and we got there, and it was dead quiet, absolutely quiet. There was zero atmosphere whatsoever because everyone was just so nervous. You could tell, like you could look around and everyone was nervous. Nobody knew each other. It didn't seem like it anyway. Blah blah blah. So from the get-go, I had quite nervous energy. It was good actually. I managed to I had quite a good mindset going into it. But yeah, the moment we got there and we saw how nervous everyone else was, it did rub off on me a little bit, and I did get slightly more nervous because I was a bit like, why the hell is everyone so nervous today? What's up? And anyway, first event was the deadlift ladder. The weights were, so originally it was going to be a 200 stiff bar just off the floor, then a 220 axle, a 240 15-inch stiff bar, and then a 260 axle silver dollar. They changed it on the day to a 220 stiff bar for 2 reps, and then the 240 stiff bar 15-inch, and then the 260, which worked out better for me. Basically, at no point did I have trouble with any of those weights. They were all very, very comfortable for me. It was just how quick could I transition between the 4, because I've never mixed grip, so I wasn't going to mix grip. I'm not going to risk tearing a bicep for that. And I barely used figure of 6s, so I stuck with figure of 8s, which meant that my transitioning was going to be very, very, very slow. But I just sort of, it is what it is. But when they said that it was going to be 220 for 2 on stiff bar, blah blah blah, that meant one less transition, which was perfect for me. So we went into the event. Before me, nobody had completed the ladder, so I was getting very, very quietly confident. And then I went up. I think I was like 4th to last to go up out of 11 of us. And I'll overlay the video here. I did 220 for 2, very easy, very comfortable. I then did the 240. That was, I didn't even feel that. That was incredibly comfortable. And then the 260 silver dollar was again very, very, very easy. And I think I got that done in 20. No, that's wrong. I'm gonna put the time here. I don't remember. But I came 3rd in that event, which was good. Secured me, good points coming 3rd. And it started off the day very nicely. I did want to actually do better. That was the only event where I was like, I'm a bit like, I could have done better, but was just transitions and really securing the weights. I didn't want to make a mistake, so I did what I did, secured third, and that was fine. And obviously in hindsight, who cares? Second event was a 92.5 kilo log, obviously floor to overhead. That was the hardest one. I knew going in I had anywhere between 6 and 8 reps. Last week in training I did 95 for 5 in like 40 seconds, less than 40 seconds, and it was pretty comfortable, pretty speedy. So I sort of had in my head that, okay, well, we've got a minute, given it's 2.5 kilos less, which on an overhead is quite a lot, I think that, you know, it could go quite well for me, and I could be looking at, you know, 8 reps or so. Didn't go that way. Here's the video. I managed 6 reps, which was good. Again, it got me third. I think it was joint third, but it still got me third. But what threw me off massively, obviously, was one, we couldn't really warm up to it. I did a 50 kilo warm up with just the log. I then did a like a 60, no, not even 65. I then did 75 kilo warm up, and then that was it. That was all I could do. Sorry, no, it was 50 and then 85 and then 92.5. It was very rushed, basically because they didn't have multiple logs. So we didn't have one in the warm-up section. It was just that one that you're going to use. You've got 5 minutes to use it before we move on. And that was it. So I was very cold going into that event. No excuse, because I still performed within my sort of range. You know, I wanted 6 to 8 reps. I got 6 reps, but it, you know, it could have been better. And it was good. It wasn't inside. I do all my log indoors. So looking up at the sky, for anyone that has done any sort of overheads outdoors, it's a completely different ball game to indoors. You're looking up at the sky, which is moving, which disorientates you, makes you want to fall back or fall forward, and it just, yeah, it was good given what I had to, you know, what we all had to sort of manage with. So yeah, joint third on that one. So I'm going into my favourite event, which is farmers, 100 kilo farmer per hand into 100 kilo sandbag to shoulder 3 times, having done 2/3. I don't know where I was at this point in the table, but I had it in my head that I was, well, anywhere between third and first, and I was leaning towards first because the guy who won the deadlift came bottom half of the log. The guy who won the log came bottom half of the deadlift, which meant that points were being scrambled, and me being quite consistent meant that I held my place quite a bit. So I was leaning towards, okay, I think I'm sort of second and first at this point, and I'm going into my favourite event. So I was very confident. Going into this event, I had a little mini rivalry with my mate Paul, and basically said, because he's a very speedy man, he basically said that, okay, well, we're going to try and beat each other, essentially. And we managed to come up on top. We got first place. That was first place finish on the event of the day. I managed to get the 100 kilo farmers into the sandbag to shoulder, done in like 21 seconds or something. Very quick. I'm very happy with it. It could have been quicker, but again, I didn't need to go crazy on the day, so that was fine. And then second to me was Paul, who managed it in, I think, 25 seconds. So there was a good 4 seconds or so, 3.5 seconds, between me and second place on that event. So it was a very, very good event for me. It's why it was my favourite. I do love a sandbag to shoulder when it's not an Atlas bull. I'm just quick with it. I'm very efficient with my legs and my hip drive. So that was very good for me. And at this point, I didn't want to say it because obviously I don't want to, you know, jinx it or whatever. But in my head, I was like, okay, I'm first. Like, I'm pretty certain I'm first. So in my head now, I just said, right, I can't fuck up going forward. Then we went into event number 4 or 5. This was the mystery event. So in the previous video, which you may or may not have seen, or given I'm watching this, in the previous video that I've seen, I said that mystery event was going to be some sort of grip event. Basically, they said the little clue was ready, steady, in all caps, go. And I was sort of like, okay, that sounds like a grip event. You know, you got to stay steady on a thing, go, hold, bosh, done. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty confident with my grip. So this is going to be a good event for me. I spoke to Ben before the day, I think on like Friday or Saturday, and he said he thinks the mystery event could be an egg and spoon race, because that's what you say, ready, steady, go, when you're kids, to do an egg and spoon race. And the fact that they highlighted steady, obviously because you have to be really steady when you're holding the little frame thing. And he said, I think it's most likely that. And so I was like, oh god, that's going to be horrible. So as we went into the mystery event, we were called over and they said, right, going to event 4 mystery event, it is going to be, and they had loads of sandbags out. So I was like, okay, it's sort of like a steeplechase fashion. And so again, I was like getting more confident by the second. I was like, okay, well, this has gone from a grip event, which I think I'd do very well at, to an egg and spoon race, which I don't think I'd do very well at, to a potential sandbag steeplechase, which I think I'll do very well at. It turns out it was. So it was a 100 kilo bag, again I'll overlay it here, 100 kilo bag, 10 meters into a 100 kilo Husafell bag, 10 meters into a 120 kilo Husafell bag, again 10 meters, funny enough. And I smashed it. I came second in that one. I think that was behind Paul, so we're sort of sharing points on the moving events, which was quite, made it quite fun, made it quite competitive. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I hesitated very much, you can probably see in the video, on that 120 kilo bag, just because when I was grabbing it, it felt like it was falling forward, and because it was up on the block, I wanted to utilise the fact that it's up on the block, and if it falls forward, I don't want to have to like reach over the block and make a really awkward adjustment and like shimmy it in. So I just took a little bit more time just to really make sure I had my hands around it. I really squeezed it in, and then I went. In hindsight, it didn't feel heavy at all. I should have just grabbed it, squeezed and go, which I'm confident would have placed me first, but it's a competition, mistakes happen, and I am fine with it. So at this point, we're going into stones, and I again was very confident that I was top 1 or 2. In my head I wanted to say 1, but I didn't want to be complacent, so I sort of told myself, okay, well, going into stones you need to go hard or you've lost it, and that was brilliant for me. So the nerves for the final event was definitely up there, because I really wanted to win this, and we're outside applying tacky, blah blah blah, came inside, and basically I had grade 4. Went inside and the building was hot. Like, it was very, very hot. It was a very small building with a lot of very sweaty men, which just meant for a very humid environment. So we ended up overlaying grade 3 on top of my grade 4, and that was a good thing, because I don't know how sticky the tacky would have been if we hadn't have done that. So that was a good call. And the stones were 100, 110, 120, 130. So in my last video where I was training a Valkyrie with Phil and Cole, I also did a 120 kilo tacular stone, which obviously, you know, made me very confident when it came to the stone, because there's 120 kilos there and there's also 130 to finish. And so I thought, okay, well, with tacky, fine, that's going to be very, very easy. And I was right, because as I was looking at some of the other people doing it, nobody else really had a problem with it either. So as I was watching, again, nerves were arising. In my head, I had it that I needed to do very, very well in this. And I have choked on stones before, twice. So in my head, 3 times actually, in my head, I needed to get this, and I needed to lock in, I needed to smash it. So I managed to get the quickest time out of everybody by a solid 5 seconds. I managed it in 16 point something, which was the quickest, and that secured me the win, and obviously the win for that event as well as the whole competition. Obviously, in hindsight, I didn't actually need to do that event at all. There was 11 competitors. I was ahead. I ended up winning the event by 11 points. So all I really need to do is a Mitch Hooper and put the 100 up, and done, I've won it. But I didn't know that, and also I wouldn't have done that anyway, because that's no fun. Like, it's a local comp. It doesn't mean anything. Just do it. So yeah, that is the conclusion to Sussex Strongest Man. I've now won a novice comp. I've now won an inters comp. So now it is on to opens and weight classes and nationals and, well, worlds in October. So yeah, there we go. Inters is done. Definitely looking forward to our next competition, Hampshires, which I'll talk about in my next video in more detail, and especially World's Strongest Man under 23s after that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously a little bit different because I'm driving, and if you know me, that is not a good idea to be doing something else whilst driving, because I have a tendency to stop driving very abruptly. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.